from the struggles of life, through trials, through tribulations, through toils, through sickness, through prison, even death cannot separate me from the love of God, for I am an overcomer. So this is part 2 of my last video of why I chose truck driving to escape debt. And so today I want to talk about once you have your CDL. So once you have your CDL, how to get good paying job or land good companies. And I also want to warn you guys about which company you should avoid, because getting a CDL is not that easy. And then once you get the CDL, you would have to apply for different companies. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, because it doesn't cost you anything and it helps me a bunch. Thank you so much. Pardon me, do y'all have restroom for drivers over here? No restroom? No problem. So, once you get your CDL, the first platform you want to go to is Indeed. And why Indeed? Because they have the most jobs that's listed. However, the first job I got was through ZipRecruiter, and I was driving Amazon Freight as a team. So what that means is that you will be partnered up with another person and you're switching back and forth. So that's what team driving means. And most companies, if you apply and you're brand new, they are going to require you to go on the road for at least 3 months with a trainer. So another thing I want to let you guys know, that the quickest way to get into a company is find companies that are hiring 1099 contractors. And the reason why a lot of these companies, they hire 1099 contractors is because of they don't have to pay into your medical or any type of retirement, and they just pay you flat across the board. So that means you will be responsible for your own tax. So if you ever did Uber, Lyft, or any type of gig platform, then you know what it means to be a 1099 contractor. And I believe that most of you guys that are watching this have some type of experience as a 1099 contractor. Enough yapping, so back to work. So here's my schedule for this block. So I have 12 stops, starting from Houston to Louisiana and back to Houston again. So before I start, the Amazon Relay app wants me to take a photo to make sure that I'm the driver. Hold still. Gotcha. Verifying. Okay, let's see. Who's this guy? Please wait. Success. New heavy rain route, so it's my choice to keep the road safe. Before hooking onto a trailer, I will need to inspect and submit the photo inside the app. Oh, look at that view. Lake Houston view. Yeah, look at that. Now, what companies should you avoid? Now, after you applied on Indeed or ZipRecruiter, so you put in about 20 to 100 applications, now you get a call. So if you get a call from a guy from Chicago or anywhere up in the Midwest, especially in Chicago, and he has a heavy Russian accent, or he's from Ukraine somewhere, avoid them at all costs. A lot of these companies, they want to use you. And many of these companies, they don't abide by the rules, meaning that they will have you drive over your HOS. HOS stands for hours of service. Let's say if you were to drive down the road and you get pulled over by a DOT officer and you went over your HOS, the company will not be at fault. You will be the one who is at fault. And your CDL could also be jeopardized. So be very leery and very careful if you were to get a call from one of these companies. Avoid them at all costs. First they say it was ready, now it just canceled it on the app. I don't know what's up with Amazon. That's one thing, we're working for AI, man. We're working for AI. Well, that's it for today's video. I just want to make a video just explaining once you have your CDL, how to get into a good company and the warnings about certain companies. So if you have recently gotten your CDL, let me know what are some of the challenges you have to face out there in the work field. Like I was saying, as for me, I didn't like to go on the road for too long, and a lot of companies wanted me to go on the road for at least 6 months before they were able to hire me on a local position. But thankfully, I finally landed a company right here in the city where I live in Houston, and I found it through Indeed. However, it is a contractor position, which is a 1099. And I was saying the difference between 1099 and W-2 employee is that 1099, you will be responsible for your taxes and expenses. So I would like to hear from the viewers, like what are some of your experience as a brand new truck driver? All right, talk to you guys soon.